Welcome in to another stitch tutorial. Today, as the title states, we are doing the Waffle V stitch or the V waffle stitch, whichever way around, it's the same thing. There are several versions of this. I'm going to show you the version that I found the easiest. And when you first look at it, it does look complicated, but bear with it. As soon as you give it a go, it's pretty quick to pick up. Very nice and easy, so much so that you could sit in front of the TV and carry on with it. It's a 1 row repeat and you need multiples of 5. So we are going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20. Let's do a little bit more. Let's do 25. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 25. Now this makes great dishcloths, washcloths, cushion covers, brilliant blankets because it comes up really nice and thick. Now for row 1, we're going to do a double crochet in the 6th from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for a double crochet. And another one in the same chain. Chain 1. In the next chain, another 2 double crochets. Okay. Now we're going to skip 3 chains, and in the 4th, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to do 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. From there, chain 1, 2 double crochets in the next. And you repeat that until you get to the end. One, 2, 3 into the 4th. Chain 1. Oops. And this works really well whether you're using a thinner or a thicker wool. It ends up looking just as good. Heck, it even looks good on amigurumi. Okay. Chain 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I did a chain. I wasn't supposed to do a chain. Sorry. I was thinking of waffles. I'm not supposed to think of waffles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And another one in the same chain. Chain 1, 2 in the next. And now we've come to the point where we only have 3 left. Instead of working another 2 double crochets, put 1 double crochet in the very first chain, or skip 2 and then do the DC, however you wish to do it. Okay. Always chain 3 at the end of your row and turn, and that does count as a double crochet. Okay, now ignore the first double crochet. Do a front post around the second double crochet. And then you are left with what you have next is the V-stitch chain space. In every V-stitch chain space, you're doing a V-stitch. So chain space, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the same space. In the very next, you're going to do another front post double crochet. And there you'll have your 2 raised and 2 behind, as it were. You're going to ignore the next double crochet and the chain space and the next double crochet. From that cluster, when you look at it as a cluster like that, always ignore the first, always ignore the last. You will literally be working with the second and the third double crochets only. So when you finished your first cluster, do a front post double around the second double crochet you come to. And then we have the chain space. So we're doing a V-stitch. And then another front post around the next DC, double crochet. Then we're ignoring this one. We're ignoring the chain space and we're ignoring the first double crochet, and we're placing a front post around the second double crochet that you come to. There's our chain space. So we're doing a V-stitch, 1 double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet. In the next double crochet, front post, double crochet. Ignoring the next double crochet, ignoring the next double crochet. In that third one, front post, double crochet. Then we're at the chain space, V-stitch, and a double crochet in the next, or around the next double crochet. Now you do have a couple on the end here. Ignore this very end one and place a double crochet in the top of the chain on the corner. That way you keep a straight edge. So that is so far so good. And we're just repeating it. So we're chaining 3 and turn. we're ignoring the first double crochet. We are putting a front post around the next. We're doing a V-stitch in the chain space. A front post around the next double crochet. Ignore the next 2 double crochets. So there's 1, there's 2. We're doing a front post around the 3rd double crochet. A V-stitch in the chain space. A double crochet around the post, so a front post double crochet. Ignore the next double crochet and the next and go into the 3rd. When you do work this up, I don't know if I'm going to be the only one saying this, but I will. I look at them as windows. I look at the pattern as windows, and that helps me know where I'm placing things. So there's the frame of the window. There's the window pane, and we need a frame on the other side. There's always gap between windows. So ignore, let's do a window frame. Let's do the pane with a V-stitch. It's much easier to see when you're doing it, I promise you. And we'll do the second frame. Whoops. Okay, and then we're ignoring, as always, but in the top of the turning chain, we're going to place a double crochet to edge, and you just keep going. Just keep it up. I'll do one more row just to show you. 1, 2, chain of 3 and turn. Ignore the first, front post around the second, V-stitch in the chain space. And front post around the next double crochet. Ignore, front post. Chain space, V-stitch. And front post. Ignore, front post double crochet, FPDC, V-stitch, double crochet, chain, double crochet, DC, CH, DC, front post double crochet, FPDC, skip, SK, and then into the next one you want to do a front post double crochet, a V-stitch into the chain 1 space. Front post double crochet to finish that sequence. And again, ignore the next double crochet and place a double crochet into the top of the turning chain. And you keep going as long as you need to go. Whether you're using a hook from Jelena over at Etsy, she's linked down below, or whether you're using something that you prefer, heck, it's your tool. You've got to use what you're comfy with. This is the Waffle V-stitch, the V-stitch waffle. It's nice and thick. It's the same on both sides. Wonderful texture. Maybe you should give it a go. Maybe. Make a wonderful little blanket, especially for a little one. There we are. And there we have it. So you carry on as long as you need. Remember that it's always in multiples of 5. And you just keep going as much as you need. Hope it helps somebody. Give it a go. And maybe I might see you next time for another tutorial. Take care. Bye-bye.